to Venetia Hands and Browns Hills that once that water comes through, it is not going to be as good as the reverse osmosis system that is now in place. I submit to you that in an ecological sense, if you have town water or the water that comes in from SCWA, you're going to be using drinking water for all sorts of purposes in your house. My reverse osmosis system with carbon works only for my cooking and my drinking, so that I don't use a lot of water that is just getting thrown away. I have a real problem with monopolies. I think SCWA is a monopoly. I think it's arrogant. I think the way that it has proceeded in trying to get this pipeline put into Orient, I think that they have pushed the town aside. They've made it clear that they don't really feel that they need to have this secra. They've even marked up the road, even before they have gotten permission. I submit to you that I personally would not like to see the pipeline come at all. But if the pipeline is going to come, I think that some limits have to be placed on what I think are public monopolies that are really answerable only to their bondholders. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom Costa, Orient. I live in the community adjoining the Browns Hill Road community. And from what I understand, they're having trouble with their water. So I'm in the Hillcrest Estates area. And I got a water test in 2004, and according to that water test, there's nothing wrong with my water. Now I got another water test in December of this past year. I'm not an expert at reading these tests, so I thought, well, maybe there's something wrong that I don't see. So I called them up, and they told me there's nothing wrong with the water. So I don't really understand why they're pushing this pipeline. I mean, I know that I hear that they're using stimulus money. So I'm figuring they must be getting the stimulus money from the stimulus tree, because if they're using my tax money for it, I mean, I should have something to say about it. Right now, from everything I hear, I don't want this pipeline. I have a well. I have no trouble with it. The worst thing that happened to me was I saw a slightly green stain in the sink, okay? And I was told that that's caused by an erosion of the copper pipes from something in the water. It's nothing that's so terrible. If I were to replace those pipes with PEX, that would be the end of that problem. So I hear about sulfates and nitrates, and I don't see anything here. Anybody that wants to look at this and tell me what's in here that's so bad, I wish they would. I mean, I just don't get it. As far as stimulus money is concerned, I wish that Southold could get stimulus money, maybe to go into some of these developments and repair the roads. That, I think, hey, I don't mind spending my tax money on that. But to spend it on a pipe that, I don't know if this water is going to be coming from the Croton Reservoir or if it's coming from East Marion. Nobody's telling me where the water is coming from. If they're just going to dig into another aquifer, we're back where we started from. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
Good evening, Supervisor Russell, members of the Town Board. My name is Bob DeLuca, and I live in East Marion on the Crossway in Pebble Beach. And I also serve as the president of Group for the East End. I've been in that position for 17 years, and for the record, I have a bachelor's in environmental science, master's in environmental science, and I've taught for about 15 years at Long Island University in state and local environmental policy. And prior served as a biologist and senior environmental analyst with the Suffolk County Health Department. And since somebody said something nice about me before, I was hesitant to get up here, but I'll do the best that I can. A couple of points, and largely related to process. I think what you've heard from people you pretty much knew coming in here. There's a concern about getting public water to people who need it, and there's a legitimate concern about people who see the potential for public water being an avenue for growth inducement, which everybody in Orient for many, many years has not wanted to see, and the board has obviously supported that through prior studies and so forth. So what do you do? There's a couple of things, and there's two ways to skin this, I think, and I'm going to, again, speak directly to process. One is you have proposed local law in front of you. It's subject to SECRA. It's probably an unlisted action. You all can move forward with that SECRA review process and decide whether or not it should be subject to a draft